Oh, hi, Free Enterprise. We have a match for you in the lunar stage today.
Yep. We're bringing you Frostbite3030, who's 0-2 looking to get on the board after taking a couple of tough losses to Dia and Coffee and Chocobos, and Bakashinobi, who's off to a good 2-1 start with wins over Dragus and Dathus and a loss to Posomorphus.
And we have some objectives for you. We've got the usual Legend Sword forging. We've got defeat the boss of the Mist Cave, um, which is, where people hope D-Mist will be. And then there's conquering the Vanilla Masamoon Altar, and also completing Mount Ordeals. So yeah, we've got some pretty simple objectives, some less simple today. Obviously, the one that sticks out the most is that Vanilla Masamoon Altar, which requires moon access and, could be a nasty fight.
That's
And
really the big troll potential, particularly if part of Pogo forging the Legend Sword is well hidden. The Cecil start is possibly a troll, depending on how our runners feel about Cecil on this slide.
yeah, and it means that our runners are almost definitely going to complete Mount Ordeals. So, I guess if you're going to have a forced Cecil start, might as well have it on a seed where Mount Ordeals is an objective.
Yeah, there is that. There's a couple of bosses, particularly in that back attack spot, that could be a bit trolly, serve as an early roadblock for the runners, or it could just be the smoothest of rides. We really won't know until we get up there.
So yeah, could be a fast seed, could be another one of those seeds where you're just looking for one objective, or just looking for access to Zeromus.
Yeah. Well, we are about to find out as our runners are underway. We have a Vanilla Cecil and Iridia. It's Team Kaipo in. And a Lunar Sparkle that says, "Come at me with the bearing key."
Leave this place, and then you could re-enter immediately if you wanted. But they're not going to.
No. I mean, maybe it's Plague, but even then, you don't want to do it right now.
Yeah, definitely not with a single Dark Knight Cecil and nothing else.
Yeah. Might come back for a visit later. Both our runners making a pretty standard move. Find the free character in Watery Pass. It is a Quack Kid.
Quack Kid. Woohoo! So, Palom, aka Quack Kid, is a very good character to find early game because, as the nickname implies, he learns Quake very early, which Quake is a very useful attack to have because it's AoE and works on pretty much every boss. I say pretty much every because some of them, like Mylon Z, are flying and do not take much damage from it.
Yeah, Quake will quickly ramp up Alum's damage ability when he gets there, and even just a couple of fights gives him access to level 2 elemental spells, which is nice for the early. dissatisfied, noting a dragon whip, which would look good on that Rydia, but Hallam tends to be the preferred black mage in this flag set, so I'd be surprised if either of our runners made that grab unless a very big summon shows up.
Yeah, generally Rydia is one of those characters in this flag set that you don't take unless you find, like, a Bahamut somewhere. Or possibly even Sylph. Sylph also has its uses.
Yeah, Sylph is nice early for good damage to punch through walls and to get some easy heals. And the fact that if you keep Rydia out of the middle slot and you have enough MP for it and it hits, you don't end up paying for it is very nice. Bakashinobi taking a bit of a deeper dive into Watery Pass, but only gets a stack of charm arrows, which not the worst thing in the world, but I'm not sure he considers that worth the investment.
Indeed. So, hope you like Quake.
Frostbite does. Frostbite immediately committing to the second Palom.
Yeah, second Palom. Good chance of possibly building up for nuke strats in the end.
One of the big advantages on T Pro is that mages don't need nearly as much in the way of gear to get ready. So, and you're not sure what you're going to be able to find, it can be a lot better to go with a mage party than a melee party.
So, depending upon what other characters are found in the seed, could be a full caster seed plus a Cecil.
Yeah, Cecil cover for the odd boss that requires it, but most likely just living in an anchor role. It's not the best anchor without something to slow him down, but a curse ring does the job beautifully, and a drain sword or a dwarf axe will get the job done.
Not only that, but if they wait a while to do ordeals, when you get the Paladin Cecil, his level resets. So if you do some of the early game stuff with the Dark Knight Cecil, and then do mount ordeals, he becomes a lot easier to anchor.
Yeah, it's very true. You don't have to keep him on the ground as long. Plus, if you find a black sword along the way, then all of those levels will help you get through ordeals. Welcome,
And
Enterprise.
we just got raided so hard by Free Enterprise it made my computer stutter.
Welcome on in. You're here for the beginning of the race. We had a Cecil start and then oops, all mages.
Well, not a great reward from the Antlion spot, but Dr. Luggage is an easy boss, at least, and if they need money early on...
Yeah, could be good early money. If there's a little concern about these mages surviving the Z fight, could hang on to it till then. Either seems good. I do like that archer bow, though. Alan is not afraid to fire off some arrows.
And in a pinch, it can back row glitch some party members. Baka just got to reset, not take that apple at all.
Worth the time to walk out, it says.
So, Mount Hobbs, you get a Rosa for the price of Calbrenna dolls.
Give me my power couple. Love to see it.
Rosa also good for casting strats because around the time that the Quake kids learn Nuke, she will learn um, White, which is originally called Holy, but yay 90s Nintendo, which is a very powerful attack in and of itself. And if you find a good stick for Rosa to hold,
Yeah, she can become a very powerful caster, and at the moment, she's a much better candidate for the archer bow than anyone else in this party.
definitely.
Bakashinobi following right along to clear that obs.
Almost left her behind, but
I mean, you can hedge, but realistically, you know you're taking this Rosa over 99%.
yeah, if you find a Rosa in this flag set, she's almost required. And of course, those J items coming in handy for those Calbrena dolls before Quake Kid gets his Quake.
Yeah, seeing Bakashinobi fire off that big bomb makes me think that that was the main reason he reset out of Antline to get that back. And you were mentioning stat sticks for Rosa a moment ago.
Yep. Silence will do pretty good.
We'll give you a +10 to wisdom, or will rather, excuse me, white mage casting stat. And it's the best you're gonna get outside of the legendary life staff, but it also is not a bad bonk stick, particularly against the various bosses that are mages.
Now we've got Frostbite currently fighting a Kinazo. Not a bad place to find it because early game, it's not as threatening. Although you do have to keep an eye out on your health because of those waves.
Yeah, can't be too cavalier here, but I don't think Frostbite's going to have any trouble whatsoever. That wave is based on Keinazo's current hit points, and finding him in a relatively low HP spot like here, not a problem. Also, have a flare.
Baka made a play you don't see very often there, going to the Chocobo forest by Ordeals and getting a white Chocobo to refill his health. Also, that was a cursed ring.
Another curse ring in the Ordeals forest? Is this even?
We've got a Sid, and Baka immediately takes him. So we're gonna see some differences in party comp here.
Yeah, Frostbite with all of these mages seems to be committing hard to reflect strats early, and Cecil's already there to serve as the anchor for that. Meanwhile, Bakashinobi with Rosa, Sid, and Cecil might be leaning towards a more hybrid.
They have found some pretty good weapons for Sid, like that, Earth that they just equipped him with.
Yeah, Earth Hammer is great. Deals fire damage if you're up against Angry Mylon Z. Can be used for some light AoE damage as an item in a pinch. And like all hammers, will do terrific damage to machines.
Ooh, is it leg? Or is it elements?
It's leg. So, about that Earth Hammer.
Yeah.
Boreas seems like a reasonable alternative under the circumstances. Very quickly, guy.
Yeah, we got that Mega Man Sid going.
Now for the real test of Ordeals. This is okay.
Yeah.
Sid's safely tucked in the back row. He can handle whatever Bygone's going to dish out. Some other people might not make it through, but not a big concern. Indeed, Frostbite turns away the Cid, probably looking for a fourth mage or a pure reflect.
Yeah.
Might be Iridia for a slingshot.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. If he doesn't find another Palom or something, might just go with the Iridia.
Yeah. One of Iridia's biggest drawbacks is that she needs so much more XP than Palom to learn to do. And picking her up when she's 5 levels below your party's median so that she gets double XP, and doing one big fight, D-Machines or Mac Giants, is a common way of getting around that.
Especially if you can manage to get 10 key items first.
Yeah, absolutely. Then you could just do a 3 and 3, that is, kill 3 D-Machines and get a single life glitch on each of those, and that would be enough to get rid of it nice and quick. Of course, that requires space for Ella, so...
Yeah. Which they do not have, and the Paloms probably not going to learn weak by the time you'd need to grind.
No, you don't D-Machine. You get the right equipment on Cecil, he could certainly cover your Mac Giants for you. Zeus Gauntlets would really wreck the situation there, but even with a few levels, which are safe enough with that first ring that Bakashinobi has, and some decent armor, he'll get the job done.
Definitely. Yeah, Cecil was the start.
Yeah. Alternatively, if you do get the Tela, and you can find a nice quality weapon on Cecil, you could just slingshot him to the point where the power is so overwhelming that you are not concerned about your agility. Old-fashioned power couple strats are a good standby for a reason.
And it looks like just a power shirt up here.
One of these parties is happier about this than the...
Yeah.
The Cid is not going to complain about
Cid looks good in that.
Right?
Also, not where you want to find officer soldiers.
No, not at all. You don't want this.
This is a pretty much gimme slot in most cases. It has very little HP, and officer soldier is a very gimme boss. You only have to defeat the 3 soldiers, and then the officer runs. And they do not have the boss bit, so you can do other stuff to them. So, definitely something you want to find in a harder slot, like, say, that vanilla Masamune altar.
Right. Easy boss and easy spot just raises the potential for a hard boss. Bakashinobi is the first through ordeals and is the first to take out objective.
And the first with a Paladin Cecil, who is slightly more useful.
And telelearning medium, wherever he is. Possibly not appearing in this scene.
Possibly, but we've still got a lot of character slots left to go. We've just exhausted the free ones.
Where is Bakashinobi off to next? It's like you're an inn. Too surprising. Or just a quick check objective.
This is an objective. And if it's vanilla, it'll be extra value.
Right. Do your objectives once you're able.
Not vanilla, but
Yeah.
Not a threatening fight at this point in time.
Not in this spot. This is definitely a boss you're glad to see can't be at Masamune.
Yeah, this is your first boss first boss spot in the vanilla game, so it's not very high on stats or anything.
Yep. So putting that Earth Hammer to work, and 2 objectives down for Bakashinobi. Quick loot of the cave, see if we find anything of interest in this out-of-the-way location.
So 2 objectives in approximately 17 minutes. But now we're at the point of where's the Legend Sword, where's the Adamant, where is the Darkness Crystal?
Is indeed the search. Lilith Rod is a decent stat stick. Hallam, and also has the benefit of casting Psych much quicker than it would be if you tried to do so as a spell.
Baka getting that back row glitch off of Cecil.
When your option is Slumbers.
I mean, just like Mighty Number 9, it's better than nothing.
It is better than Fisticuffs, to be sure.
Looks like we got some Dark Elves in the first slot here. Or Dark Imps. I always call them Elves. I don't know why.
Younger cousins of elves, perhaps. It's not like there are many elves in the seed anyway. Maybe they evolved into imps? Evolved?
Nah. Either way, another easy fight in another easy slot, so not what you want to see right away, but there are some bad slots you can find it in too. And speaking of things you could find in bad slots, here's Valvalis. I mean, better here than the moon?
Sure, better here than the moon, but if Magic can punch this spot, then everyone will be fine. If Val has enough evasion to get away from non-nuke spells, then Frostbite could be in for some.
Yeah, one person is going to have a significantly different experience from the other, possibly.
But Bakashinobi is showing off that Valis does not have high enough magic evasion here. Helen lands a Fire 2 for 650. So I don't think there's going to be trouble.
And then a 1300 virus from Palamon Frostbite side, so yeah, I think we're good.
Yep.
Definitely a good slot to find Val in, for sure. Without a cane on the... Of course, even with a cane, there are some real nasty spots to find her.
Mm-hmm. Luca Key from Baroness opens up a little bit more of the underworld if we get there.
Yeah, it does have use in the table stage because the table stage disables that warp glitch. Also, yeah, Edward is just immediately gone.
Yeah, if that Masamune altar had been jettier, if it had, say, been another free overworld objective, then I'd start wondering about a pass for some sort of Eddie strats, but these objectives don't say Eddie strats to me.
Nah.
Are we? No, Baron Key. We are not out of key item checks yet. Can still liberate Baron Castle looking Magma Key.
Baka picking up a handful of exits.
Useful for a little bit, particularly if he plans on keeping his Cecil down. Cecil will learn exit at level 19 and can be the exit mage, but until then, doesn't hurt to have.
Baka might be checking item shops before going into Baron Castle.
Tracker Marty pointing out that there's a dwarf X at the Baron shop. Between that and a curse ring in the Chocobo Forest, although I don't know if Frostbite got that one. You can level Cecil very high and still quickly turn him into a good egg.
Either way, Frostbite did find the cursed ring on Ordeals, so...
Ah, thank you. Potions, always good to get a resupply of them. Start out with somewhere in the 10 to 20 range on life potions in a kit, but between reviving your own party members and life glitching enemies that you want extra XP out of, you can run out pretty fast.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you find life potions, you're pretty much obligated by law to pick up several stacks of them.
Don't leave the shop with it.
There's another slumber sword in the shop.
Yeah. It's a good dart if Ed shows up. Now, what Sparkle was so bold as to hand over the Baron key right away? It was Plague.
Hooray! I mean, out of all the Lunar Sparkle bosses, I guess it's the least threatening. Although, I guess at this point, Paladin wouldn't be too bad to fight.
Yeah, you've got Virus. You can tag him with that and not risk the Quake counter and put him down before too long. This
Plague
probably be the rudest because he's going to counter that Virus with Blaze.
Plague is one of those bosses that can get you if you're underestimating it. Because, I mean, look, Frostbite got down to a count of 1 before Plague died.
Yeah, and if a little bit of the spells are a little lighter than you're expecting and the count goes off and you have to do it again. We have a coup in Baron. We have Baron guards hanging out on the front.
Yeah, another easy fight that you really want to see in a later on area.
If you don't hit them with mute, they are happy to counter with Piggy and Size. I think with the HP in this spot, everything's fine. And here comes the mute.
Yep, the Baron guards do not have the boss bit. So again, you can mute them or... And there's Baron guards down, so we're gonna get another character check in a moment here.
Different twin.
Unfortunately, for Porum, she's gonna get sent to the Tower of Wishes, never to be seen again, because there's really only room for one white mage, and we've got her.
Argument there.
Oh hey, curse rings for sale.
In case you missed them somehow.
This seed really wanted to make up for the Cecil start.
Ooh, we might have a music check coming up.
Yeah, and that may be our only overworld check left other than that barren basement, which not a great opportunity for right now.
There. Particularly if you want to avoid that hook. We've covered the 4 open free item checks, barren keys covered by Frostbite. Could have made a spicy check on that basement, hoping for something free to maybe get something that Baka maybe misses. That might go the other way. Leonhart might be the divergence. Some runners are committed to let's try and find a magma key, and some runners are more likely to dive the hook. I think that being one key item away from go mode might be a factor in pushing people towards the twin heart.
Yeah, because unless my calculations are wrong, which they often are, either Cave Magnus or Barren Basement has to be either hook or magma key.
Well, we have low.
Oh, we have the hook? Oh, I missed that then.
I think it was in Fabul defense. Process of elimination, because I remember the other 3.
Something else must have been going on at the time that one of them got it and then the other one did.
Yeah.
And if it was at Fabul, they did those at different times, so...
Yeah, as a commentator does, I'm just relying on our tracker because I honestly did not see either runner pick it up, but I see hooks lit up, so we're good. But enough from us for the moment. DJ Spoony Bard is about to hit us with some wonderful tunes.
And with that, Mylon's body is no longer a wonderland, and Baka has defeated the Baron Guards and will now be getting... Ooh, only a Sylph for Frostbite.
Yeah, that... Nah, even if you were eyeing Rydia in that last spot, that is not what you're hoping for this check. And having to walk it out, even more sting.
At least we got some good music, which shout outs to, I believe, Calm Lamity for who does most of those.
Calm Lamity does a lot of the harp, and I believe a board face has done some of them as well.
Okay.
And Bakashinobi is about to spend that same time making that same check. But at least we will get another nice long Mylon and Friends fight to listen to that great music.
Da, 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 da. Okay, so Scala says Board has done most of the harp songs, and Calm Lamity picked up the role earlier this year.
Good to know. Thank you, Scala. I can't even Rowdy Sniper. I mean, I approve, but I can't even.
Frostbite taking on that Mist Cave boss of Magus Sisters.
Knocks that down super fast. And yes, Jason Ellis, the Sylph flag is on. As long as Rydia is not in the anchor position, and as long as she's got the MP to cast it, and as long as it doesn't somehow miss, then you're not going to have to pay.
Yep. Frostbite would rather go the Eblin Cave route than try and take on whatever's in the Odin spot.
Okay. Vanilla Edge and
Yep.
also, but not Vanilla Rubicon.
Didn't we see leg earlier?
Right. So this is elements.
So Frostbite probably not super happy about that edge, but Baka might.
Possibly. Edge is a tougher call on table. It's a lot harder to find the weapons that you need to let him contribute. So I'll be interested to see what Bakashinobi does when he gets to this one.
Yeah, I do think they've found a few. I know at least one of them found a middle sword. But
We have music. We can have as a treat.
well, Frostbite going for the Mad Ogre trapped chest.
Yeah, and Cecil showing that he's not afraid to cover this. Should be able to get it through. It's just a matter of time. Mad Ogres have some pretty impressive magic defense, so it's going to be up to Rosa, but that looks like there may be muters.
Mad Ogres, pretty decent small grind option because, you know, they're pretty easy to do the life glitch on when you got 4 of them. And if you have an edge, you can steal some Bacchus wines.
Yeah, you can't steal sirens on this flag set, but you can steal anything else. And Bacchus wines are a common steal, and it looks like we have Mylon Z in the Baron basement. This may be doable. I don't know if Rose has learned Blink yet. That would make a big difference. You could also maybe duck out and pull off a Cecil cover.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the highest level cure Rosa has right now is either.
And actually, it doesn't look like the Cecil cover from the back row might not even be necessary. Could be that Crystal Helm provides undead defense, and that's what's helping Cecil handle these hits. And Baka with a heads-up row switch gets Cecil in the back row, and now just taking 1 damage from the covers. This should be just fine. Kinds of cover here. Cecil's auto covering Rosa and Alan because they're low on HP. Bakashinobi manually set the cover command to Sid so that he'll stay covered regardless of the hit point situation. The only thing that would shut it down now would be Cecil landing in critical HP or doing something else ill-advised like parry. While Bakashinobi is working on that, Frostbite's giving us a look at the King-Queen spot, and it is the alt one.
Woo! Egg.
That's time-consuming, if nothing else. A couple of the fights should not be taken.
You will give me an egg.
Ooh, but we have go mode in the barren basement. Bakashinobi hits it with the darkness crystal. Doesn't even have to take that hook route if he doesn't want to. Nice heads up. Bakashinobi peeking this boss before making that dive, seeing it's something that with the right strats is quite doable. And imagine Tella on the moon here.
Tella on the moon. How did it get there?
I don't know, you telling me.
There's a long sword and a shuriken in there.
I think you're right, Bad Karma. I think Mac Giant is the play here, barring a quick appearance by Tella. Earth Hammer will take out the machines like the Mac Giants and deal some heavy damage. I think there's enough armor on this Cecil that he can handle covering, and I think that's the play.
Buck, probably just checking shops down here.
Yeah, check the shops, check the character. He did find that long sword, and that long middle is a bit borderline for Edge. He might be happier slingshotting it. We'll see what he does. And yeah, the charm arrows are another nice find for dealing with the Mac Giants. And no, I didn't see an item shop check Conquerors.
You went right past that item shop and just checked the weapon and armor.
Yeah, the gated item shops were huge in group flags when that is where tier 5 became accessible. But on table flags, you don't find the lovely things like Bacchus and Sirens and Hourglasses until you get to Kokol's shop, if you find them.
So, Baka, not interested in Edge, exits out before triggering the cutscene. Gonna go get his whale, though.
Yeah. Get the whale, check the character. Depending on how he's feeling when he sees that character, probably just does the grind immediately. Go for some spice and check the Masamune altar, but that's a potential long walk for nothing if you can't handle it. Frostbite, in the meantime, has gotten through that gauntlet and is working on elements. Given all of the mages here, I expect we're going to see no direct attacks.
That's not the Mylon Z you want to be fighting right now, though.
No, but if you keep him in the Mylon phase, the attacks are just physical. You can Cecil cover. Since the changing of forms for elements is a reaction script, it won't be triggered by reflected spells, and this is the standard way to deal with the elements fight, because the other phases, particularly the Rubicon phase, are much more.
Baka checking the free Mysidia characters, which I guess had not been checked to this point.
Not by Bakashinobi, apparently. We did, I think, see Frostbite check. now up to the moon. One last character check for Bakashinobi, and then it's time to make the decision. Waiting on the lunar dice, watching all of these shenanigans on Earth from above. We have for you a
Paladin.
That's all. And Bakashinobi immediately resets.
Nah, brah. Going to go grab a character, I guess Rydia makes most sense.
Yeah, Rydia, if your thought is Mac Giant Grind.
No, he's going Palom.
Similar theory. Either way, you slingshot both of them, land a bunch of levels and good stats, and get strong.
That is true, we never did take second Palom.
Nope. And in a little bit, we should see Bakashinobi landing outside of Baron, resetting to load a new encounter table, taking some fights in Baron to determine what particular encounter seed he has, so that he knows if Mac Giants are even in it, and if so, how many fights he has to take to get.
Meanwhile, Frostbite through elements, about to get underground.
Yeah. That top of tower boss. Semi-annoying wall.
So who knows what Frostbite's gonna find down here.
Yeah, we know it's not Darkness Crystal. Could find both parts of Forge, but even then he's still gonna have to come back to that Mylon Z fight, unless Pass is also under.
Yeah. But he's got to get, he'd have to get lucky enough to be able to find 3 specific key items and grind before Baka gets to that altar.
Mm-hmm. It's a tough road, but that is part of the beauty of the 3 out of 4 objective system, is it can look like a runner's completely lost in the woods and they will find the other path. Let's see the first freebie here. Frostbite. We have... Oh, we have a Legend Sword.
Hey!
Look up! You get a hit on the first freebie, that's good. It's still got Sheila 1 as an out. It's got the Luca key if he wants to dive sealed. That's potentially rude, as is the bosses here, which Frostbite's going to check. Either of these are free doable with the Cecil cover. Could get another quick item here.
Could also find a D-Mist.
And D-Mist, true. Could also find a D-Mist and open that checkup. There are options. Okay, that's not...
a Antlion and a Sparkle.
That's a quick exit.
I mean, Antlion's better in the Queen spot than in the King spot, to be fair.
Definitely.
But we've already seen Plague. But all the other Sparkles are still in play, and if there's a Wyvern there, that's just a non-starter until you've gotten a grind. And even then, you don't want to do it.
Yeah, there are no good answers left for that. Hailed him maybe with Cecil. Maybe.
So, let's hope those bosses don't have adamant and or pass.
Right. Now, yeah, Tella and Dwarf Castle, I think, is the big thing. You can start a D machine grind significantly later than your opponent does a Mac Giant grind and still finish before them. It just is a more efficient fight, having access to weak, and you need less D machines for this same amount of XP than you do with Mac Giants. Also, the manip chart is a bit. While our runners are running around taking care of things, I'd like to thank Marty56 for taking care of tracking and making everything light up, Snape D for bringing us our runners together on the big screen and handling restreams and rolling this lovely seed.
Frostbite found the star veils.
Big find.
Especially if you're hybrid stratting. Or full on, even especially full on mage strats.
Yeah. And there are still some bosses that we haven't seen where those star veils are mandatory to pass through. Golbez, that rude wyvern, Hamet, depending on the spot he's in.
Yeah, depending on the spot. If you can't take him out in the 5 count.
Yeah. Back of Dwarf Castle, no threat. Front of Dwarf Castle, probably need it.
Massive Moon Altar.
That's all I have to say about that. Still not the worst thing to find.
Anywhere on the moon, really.
It's going to be a wait. You better have a big stack.
Oh, Frostbite also didn't check the Mysidia free characters.
Indeed.
That's kind of odd that neither runner checked them.
Yeah. Some people do like to leave that spot open just as an anchor, but particularly with buy not being on, you can just duck in at some point and just have them wait for you in the tower, and at least you know your options. To be fair, our runners did get a party they were happy with pretty early.
Yeah, Frostbite did not take either one. Still unsure what he's looking for in a 5th character.
Bakashinobi did not commit to that 5th character until he had darkness and knew that there was no Tella available. I think Frostbite has a similar thought process.
Probably.
And those Zeus gauntlets will make the Mac Giant grind very easy when the time comes.
Doesn't get you any closer to Crystal, though.
No, not at all. But Bakashinobi's putting Blink up on Cecil as a failsafe. Those Zeus gauntlets, in addition to the great defense and their offensive boost, provide resistance to giants.
So while Frostbite's on Earth, does he check Barren Basement or just go right back underground?
We hope so, but for his sake, then he gets right back into this. But Barren Basement, if you don't make the check real fast, tends to get left behind. There are, all things being equal, there are easier checks on the underworld to grab. It's specifically that Mylon Z was in that slot that made that such a great play for the position.
Frostbite gonna go to Dwarf Castle. There is a character check between the 2 bosses here, so could still be a Tella.
The last hope this seed has for seeing a Tella.
There's a Dark Elf. He's in the wrong crystal room, but
He is. To be sure. And yeah, agreed, Marty. I think we only see a door grind if something really strange happens. Something like Hass is here and Adamant is at the bottom of Luca Cave, or vice versa. Maybe then we see a door grind all the way out. It does seem like.
Even so, I don't see Frostbite doing a grind until he's found that darkness crystal. Because you probably, if you exhaust all the checks down here, other than like the Fey March bosses, you probably go do Baron Basement.
Probably. But also, if Frostbite's versed in either Eddy or 1200 HP strats, that's probably more attractive than door grind. If you set up your door grind right, then you're not going to have any issues with dying. You get everyone in the party at RA1, courtesy of that curse string on Cecil. Put a melee character in the first slot and have him swing to buffer. Put Rosa in the next spot to act, and have her put wall up when the search comes in, and you'll be fine.
There's a King and Queen Evelyn.
More free bosses and free locations.
Hey!
Oh boy!
Immediately takes him.
No hesitation.
And you got another free boss at not the most ideal of spots to find it, but
no, not at all.
Still better than if you found them, on ordeals or something.
Yeah, and unless Luca hands over something interesting, I think that Frostbite's next move is Top of Tower. It's a softer check than Fey March or Sealed typically are, and it has a key item.
Now, Sealed Cave is one of those ones where you can save outside and then just run in, see what the key item is, and then see if the boss is demist, and then just reset out. So you don't have a walk back, so it is a bit of an attractive check if you're kind of hoping for good luck.
Yeah, and you can pretty much do the same with Top of Tower. It's probably a little bit of a longer walk. I think it's probably close, actually. They probably both have about the same number of door transitions.
Yeah.
Oh, but
it's a rat tail.
You get free check. Now there are a few things about routing, and one of those is efficient routing, that is checking what you're in the neighborhood for. This is going to put Frostbite back over ground immediately for the free check. When he's done, at some point when he flies over Baron, he might remember the basement and give it a look.
Yeah, there's no telling, what his thought process is at the moment.
Yeah, and basement's on that same general tier as Fey March Sealed as far as it being rough, so wouldn't be surprised to see him leave it alone, but I'm hoping for Frostbite. Okay, that's gonna pull him that way.
Ooh.
He's probably going to rate that treasury hoping for a holy sword, and I think he goes straight up Zod after.
You might be right. Yeah, looks like he's heading that way.
Yeah, the treasury was almost a gimme, that Paladin Cecil being carried around. Zod's the only part I'm not sure. Again, he's in the neighborhood. He probably makes the money.
Well, hopefully there'll be an adamant rock up there. So I guess we'll rate that treasury. 2-star.
I'm gonna stretch it to 2.
Yeah. So agreed on the 2.
And I'm saying 2 because I like Dragoon gear for its elemental resistance.
I mean, I guess there could be an edge case for... No, because it doesn't even have Viridian. Never mind.
No, yeah, that Leviathan's just money.
Yeah. Which I don't think he's really hurting for at the moment.
No, not at this point. You don't need money. I think if you knew in advance what was in that treasury, you wouldn't even.
Yeah.
Sure enough, the quick trip of Zot, which makes perfect sense. It's a little longer with 2 boss fights and cutscenes, but it's definitely a lower HP spot. And yeah, it's a good point, Marty. Running Zot is going to drop him right in Baron Castle, and that might make him go, hey, I'm here. We can hope. I like Power Shirt Rosa. The only thing stopping Rosa from dealing as much damage in melee as Cecil is the fact that she can't use a Crystal Sword. Her stats are on par, so she's perfectly capable of dealing heavy damage with a good bow if you set her up.
We've got a pain man.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like Paladin Cecil's going to have much trouble surviving, though.
No. It's just going to be a matter of for Frostbite of trying to keep the weaker characters up so they can get some XP.
Indeed.
Indeed, Scala. Let Rosa wield swords. I think that's a different randomizer.
Let's let Rosa wield swords and give us playable Golbez. That's where Scala gets the newspaper out.
I mean, to be fair, if you look hard enough, you can find Golbez in a few special scenes other than fighting against the boss. But some of you know what I'm talking about. The rest of you, well, I won't say it.
I mean, justice is not the only right in this world. Someday you will see. I believe we've already seen Old Gauntlet Zilch.
We have. Would you like another Rydia? Never mind, your party's full. Also seen Bygone. Vanilla Ogopogo's a bit rude. Magus Sisters is out of the way.
There's a Yang. So. Who's gotta be top of Zot?
Bakashinobi's still working on that Mac Giant.
Also, someone should make a flag that... Oh, it's Bahamut. Someone should make a flag to change that giant ball back into the guillotine, like in the Japanese version.
But what we would put in as the note, I like the IOU one-sided label. Probably figure something.
And Bahamut does not count backwards from 5.
No, nowhere near enough. Yeah, Amy's, there are a lot of cute little dialogue changes with NPCs and items. If you want to run through this and instead of doing a speed run, do just a casual stroll. It's terrific.
Now you just need the rock.
Now, of course, if the rock is on the moon, then all of this hope is for naught. But we are getting closer.
If we could just smell what the rock is cooking.
But...
Oh,
Adamant is the people's up.
well, Frostbite is going to find the darkness crystal.
And at these levels, we'll have no trouble with Mylon Z. And we'll be getting a darkness crystal, as you said. So here we go.
Oh, okay, bye, Tella.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Cecil's your anchor. You can keep Tella up to try and get him up to 1,000 hit points before the end of the seed, or he can fall.
Well, the pass would have helped if he ended up going back underground and was able to find the adamant.
Yeah, absolutely. Pass was strictly there for the alternate route if he continued to avoid basement, but he found his way back.
It's still better for him to just come here and do this because we know the darkness crystal is here, but if he had just happened to find, he found the legend sword, if he just happened to find the adamant and he got the pass, that could have...
Adamant at top of the tower, maybe some 1,200 HP strats on Cecil, something like that. Might have put him back in this. And yeah, probably, I mean, any runner, no matter how good, can always make a mistake. And if you've listened to Bakashinobi in the booth, or watched him run, you know he's very good, as is anyone to get this far. Probably the biggest threat to Bakashinobi is after this long Mac Giant grind, forgetting to turn off random encounters and facing an unfortunate giant fight. Yeah, exactly, Berserk. Exactly. We're on the same page.
All it takes is one missed menu.
Yeah.
And trust me, in this entire tournament, we've seen a share of those.
Mm-hmm. And true, Marty, given the different party compositions, what could be a palm boss for one person could be extremely rude for the other. Given the mage party, there are more things that the mages find rude. Ogo, Frostbite's probably going to have to go to reflect strats to get through, and that's going to make healing awkward, to say the least.
Of course, you can't count out the board face AI, and it might just treat Baka a lot worse than it would treat Frostbite. Who knows? It'd be like that sometimes.
Sometimes.
And Frostbite probably gonna be okay with that.
Shinobi bringing down the hammer, taking down Cecil to keep him anchored. Lands the XP on the rest of his characters, just now wrapping up his grind. But look at what Frostbite did during that grind. He's still behind. But Frostbite, I think, was going through the hook, finishing up the hook, when Bakashinobi started the Mac Giant grind?
Something like that.
Checked a march, ran the Sheila checks, found the Earth Crystal, ran up Zod, went back to Barren Basement, and checked Barren Basement. All in the time of Mac Giant.
Also, I hope anyone watching this doesn't get motion sickness from Frostbite's side with the poison.
Yeah, Mylon rude with the poison. Walk there.
Although it looks like he healed it, so...
And
looks like setting up a grind.
Altar, but
Frostbite seems to be setting up a grind and accidentally walked into town of Baron instead.
Gold, maybe? Yeah, Golbez could be pretty rude there. You're going to have to get a wall up pretty soon. Even this party's going to fall to those spells. We've seen a lot of the rude options already is the problem. We've seen we've seen Magus Sisters.
Wyvern is down in Fey March.
So, yeah. But Bakashinobi will answer the question for us soon enough. Hey, Bakashinobi, would you like to look at that second Cecil again?
Da 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 da.
Dun 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 dun.
Now, if you have, you know, the weapons for it, second Cecil does work pretty alright in these flags. You know, provided you can keep one down as the anchor.
Yeah. But yeah.
Obviously, by the time you get to the moon.
Yeah, and we just haven't found the weapons we need to justify carrying an anchor and a second character.
Yeah. Making my way downtown, walking fast.
Jason's fast and I'm home then. Is Aromas bound? Something.
Masamune bound.
Logo bound? And yeah, with Frostbite not knowing how close Bakashinobi is to finishing, you just D-machine right here. It's the plan.
Yeah.
If you know, then yeah, obviously you make the run to Masamune and do a low-level gamble. But you don't. For all you know, you're a little bit in the lead, and that gamble is the very thing that ruined you.
Mm-hmm. You might have suspicions that Baka might have, you know, done Mylon Z earlier, but...
Right. You're worried, but you don't throw your whole game out the window.
Yeah. Alright. Who's it gonna be? Oh, come on!
So...
That was the most... That was the most...
Me being a little cheeky and trying to cover all options, said when Baka first got to the mood, said something to the effect of, you know, you could check that boss and make a cheeky play and then do low-level strats if you can get past it, but that's a huge gamble. Yeah.
all that speculation we had going, and then this was
I mean,
climactic.
The Baron basement was reasonable, but that would have been the galaxy brain move in this scene. Oh,
and it's a spoon, which is
sure.
appropriate to be coming from the water hag. Sure.
Why not?
If only Edward could use it in this.
How else would Edward get his ultimate weapon other than overcoming his ultimate fear?
His ultimate fear, the ghost of his dead girlfriend.
Or the water hag. Take your pick. I think it's a swag walk anytime you don't save. But you don't swag walk unless you have the kind of party that says, oh no, Z's definitely dead. He just doesn't know it.
I mean, it's like 5 minutes of swag.
You know, I've been waiting for nap time. Chat, thank you for letting me know. I appreciate that.
I don't think that's what that means.
So peaceful.
But we have a butt to kick.
You're right.
Whose is it?
That is indeed the question. Is about to reveal by having Cecil use the crystal as it should be. Whose butt are we going to kick this afternoon? Somewhere it's like that.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
True. It's nighttime in Australia.
Hey, it's the Yellow Devil. The Mega Man boss that everybody hates. Hopefully this fight will go a bit faster than a Yellow Devil fight.
Mega Man Sid taking on Yellowmus. Good point, Solaris. Good point.
And Baka put the Star Veil on that Mega Man Sid.
Yeah, all things being equal, top slot's a great spot for your Veil. It's the next action to come up after the crystal, so you can fire the action up while the Zeromus is transforming. And when you put the cursor to the right on your party, it lands on the top slot. So it's generally the preferred.
Yeah, just when it gets hit with the nuke, just repeatedly pause and unpause.
I mean, if Dia were playing, she'd be pausing on the nukes anyway. PK Bakashinobi does have a cursed ring, and we therefore assume that Cecil's wearing it, but can't swear to that.
All of Baka's party names sound Italian.
Cecilo, Lomo,
Malomo,
Mid.
Vosao. Oh, hey.
Okay.
Bye, Yellow Devil. And that's the power of reflect strats.
You're saved our vanilla or Italian accents.
Yeah.
Shinobi. And here is Bakashinobi. GG. Congratulations.
GG.
Thank you. That was a seed. I had a scary suspicion that there was a darkness crystal somewhere overworld, and turns out there was.
Definitely a bold play, but it worked.
Worst case, if it was something actually rude at the Odin spot, I would have done hook route and come back. But Mylon Z with Cecil and a crystal helmet is very free, because gotta love that undead resistance and Cecil cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a quick row switch to put Sid in the front row where he should be and Cecil in the back row, sealed any doubts.
Yeah, Cecil in the back row just started taking 1 damage. Sid was already back row glitch, so he was already going to be doing fine damage, but Cecil just needs to go and cover. But that Max Giant grind was sure fun. That lasted a bit, and I may have lost count of the number of Max Giants I killed.
It's not like the D Machine where you've done it so many times that you look in your levels and you go, oh, that's 22. We're done here. Mac Giant.
I know they're like 32,000 experience each, so I needed about 30 of them to get both my casters up to Nuke and White. It's just, I lost track after 6. And then the few triple or double life clicks they got off as well. So I decided
that's fine. You made up the time by not having to save after the Masamune. We'll go with that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I really didn't have to worry about taking a second Big Bang with that party because the double Paladin was doing really good work. And I had White in there as well. But yeah, I figured once I dove Odin Throne that early and found Darkness, I had a pretty good lead just because that's not a place you want to check early. That's a place that's very reasonable to say, no, I should come back to this when I have actual levels. But level 25, I had a Cecil who could do cover shenanigans. I had like 6 different types of resistances between the Crystal Hat, the Aegis Shield, the Dragoon Shields. I had a lot of ways of going and making Cecil even more powerful, so I felt pretty good about any physical boss there.
Yeah. Cecil's start on table flags is something that fills a lot of runners with dread, but you definitely showed that there's a lot of mileage to be gotten.
Dumpster Cecil is best cover Cecil.
Does you mean a lot of mileage?
Yeah.
Oh, that too.
Yeah, Cecil really paved the way for the team.
Real Z was the Mylon that held the Darkness Crystal.
It was a giant opportunity for me.
Maybe the real Mylon Z was the friends we made along the way.
Just looked at your spoiler log.
Yeah, I just saw that too.
So Frostbite dove the hook route, found the Legend Sword as the Famer's freebie, found the pass in
Zot
Castle, and in Zot, right, and was just about maybe to dive that for the Adamant, and then went to Baron Castle.
Oof. That's wow.
This is a thing.
Yeah, that's whew.
It didn't come to pass this time, but that's the thing about the 3 out of 4 is that there's often more than one way, and you can find that route.
I mean, the advantage is you'd have to do the 1200 HP strats reasonably, unless... I mean, with Cecil, you really have to go and have him anchored to do Eddie's strats as well, so that was... Yeah, I guess you could do a door grind if you're feeling up to it, and you might hit 10 key items. Sounds like there's a lot of stuff on Earth. Because you would go and get the Adamant and the Legend. You wouldn't get the Spoon, which I had, but you probably get 1 or 2 more key items on Earth somewhere, so door grind could go in to be a way to get there.
Yeah, this is a very Earth-heavy seed. Even just overworld heavy.
Oh yeah, there's finding all those things overworld, the Twin Harp annoyed me a bit, but I decided to just keep the experience rather than resetting all the way back and saving some time. But yeah, fun seed all in all, if you enjoyed Mac Giant Grinds.
Well, and speaking of divergence, Frostbite did find Tella in Dwarf Castle, so we only saw one Mac Giant grind.
You know, I'm happy for that, because I do like the Mac Giant Grind as an optional thing, or as an alternative grind, but D-Machines is a lot quicker and faster.
Yeah. So this puts you at 3-1 in a pretty good position. You still got 2 races coming up. Are they scheduled yet?
Yes, I have one race scheduled for, I believe, 7 p.m. Eastern Monday and 7 p.m. Eastern Wednesday. I have to double check the exact times, either 6 or 7 p.m. So I'm closing in, and I know Stone Dingley is someone to keep an eye on, because they beat Penguinator, and Prof. Corey is another name to keep an eye on, as I believe they've taken a win off another big name. So I will need to stay on my toes for my next few matches.
Hey, you never know what's gonna happen.
Agreed. Alright, well, I'll let you all get back to the race. Thank you all for commentating. Thank you, Commander Leonhart and dijonketchup. And thank you, Smapey, for restreaming and Marty for tracking. Have a great day.
You too. Frostbite's on the moon. He carries a harpoon.
He just has to fight Water Hag, and then he'll be at Z soon. Again, extra soul.
Well,
That was all.
it's fine.
And then we'll see Z soon. There we go.
Gosh. Just Water Hag.
Right? Water Hag and Masamune. Like, if you do a runner's relish of this, go through it again when you already know everything. I mean, gosh. You knock out Ordeals, you knock out Mist, you get your transformation, and you just cheese your way past Mylon Z and Water Hag, and run down and probably do Eddie or 12, whatever you're more comfortable with. No way you do that without knowing, but wow. The possibilities.
The possibilities.
We've seen Ogo. Wait, how much pasta have we seen? Did we see Ogo? Did we see Leviathan?
We saw neither of them.
Pasta is still hidden. Missed possibilities.
Well, we do at least have a raid from Jenica Strife.
Hey, welcome on in, Jenica and friends. Bakashinobi's just wrapped up and has moved on to 3-1. Frostbite is going to take care of this Water Hag and move on to the Z Sprite shortly. Swear I'm not an impasta, Radio Hupfin. I'm crewmate. You can trust me. I was in medbay the whole time.
Wait a minute. Pasta doesn't have a medical degree.
Does seem kind of sus.
Tomato sauce?
Seems best for pasta.
Alright, and we got another swag walk to Zeromus.
Does seem fair, Snellis. Yeah, that spot punches hard, and if you don't get your attacks in quick, yeah, Water Hag is going to do rude things to you. board AI is a little rude and just constantly punches the person who you have an action queued up, and suddenly, but Frostbite got through. And knocks out objective 3, gets the crystal, and time for Zerg.
Here we are once again.
All of this has happened before, but it will not happen. At least not in this city.
But the past refused to change.
Super Brosendo. Yes, it was. For me, at least.
I was referencing Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, Dijon rolled it over into Chrono Trigger, which is fine. It works. I should start calling people Cylons in Among Us. And Jenica and friends, we have Yellomus, and it was more appropriate for Bakashinobi, as Bakashinobi had Mega Man Sid.
Yep. Mega Man Sid with the reflect on.
Oh, looks like that crystal came out a little late. Frostbite might still be on battle speed 1, and that's dicey for reflect shots.
Ooh.
Did Frostbite save, or was this a swag walk?
It was a swag walk.
Really hope there was a save at the Ribbon Room before Masamune. There probably. You don't walk back.
I'm pretty sure there was.
We just have to deal with that water hag fight again. At least it wasn't too long or grueling, not punching through all of those hit points, but...
He's got the select menu up. Pause the action. Might be considering what to do.
Yeah, do you reset, and do you remember where you last saved, or do you try and salvage this? Yeah.
And it looks like Frostbite actually forfeited. But GG's to him.
No shame in that. It was done. Frostbite did a good job to take the longer route through and come up with that Tella and put together that D-Machine grind and get back into this. Put on a good showing and isn't out of this at 0-3. 3-3 with a good strength of schedule can still get a runner into the top of 16, and with opponents such as Bakashinobi and Dia and Coffee and Chocobos, that could be a pretty solid strength of schedule. And we've got word that Frostbite's declined an interview. Again, perfectly understandable. People are always welcome as runners to come in for an interview afterwards, but it's never required. So we'll wish him the best of luck in his next 3 matches. Get a quick look here. I'm going to look and see when his matches are. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I see one against Dragus tomorrow at 8 Eastern. I see Lot Cole Watt live on Monday, again at 8 Eastern. And it looks like Prof. Corey on the 14th, again at 8 Eastern.
And I think we've got a raid setting up. Okay, so it looks like we're going to be raiding No Dumping. He does appear to be doing the table salt flag, so if you are participating in that, there will be spoilers and stuff, so yeah.
So you want to follow us if that's the case. But for the rest of us, it's more fun. Free enterprise action using these same flag sets. It's a side tournament set up by one of our community members for people that didn't make it into the table tournament. So let's all go along and give Indorwa a cheer. Once again, thank you, RPG Limit Break, for hosting this for us. We're trying to do as many of these races as possible, and having other channels to help us with that are great. Also, don't spoil this race for the people there that may have not been here. Finally, Marty, thank you for tracking. Smapety, thank you for restreaming. dijonketchup, thanks so much for doing comms with me. Pleasure as always.
And thank you, CommanderLeonhart, for being here as well.
And what Scala said, 4:30, free enterprise. See you all there.
Woo!